After the coup that took place in Niger by the Nigerian military against the country's president, Mohamed Bazoum, who assumed office in 2021, there have been no updates about him since he was ousted by the military under the leadership of Abdel Ramat Giani. They canceled the military agreements that bind Niger and France and threatened war against any external military intervention against Niger. So, what is the stance of African countries towards this coup? Will African nations stand with the Nigerian military, or will they turn their backs on it? Following the disputes that followed the Nigerian military's coup against the Nigerian government, France swiftly issued threats to the coup leaders and warned of armed response if the coup leaders didn't step back and reinstate President Bazoum. This French response was intended to safeguard its interests, given that 70% of France's nuclear energy security depends on Nigerian uranium. France uses this uranium to produce electricity for its territories, enriching it and employing it in nuclear reactors for power generation. Furthermore, Niger also protects France's national security through cooperation agreements to combat extremism and terrorism. This justifies France's strong defense of the Bazoum government and its demand for his reinstatement. As for neighboring African countries, their stance can be divided into three categories. Countries supportive of the coup like Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, who declared their support for the rebel military leaders and threatened war against any military intervention in Niger. They pledged armed support, particularly as these countries have experienced recent military coups and might be trying to spread the coup phenomenon to other African countries. These three countries, alongside Niger, share similar principles, including their opposition to France and their coup-related inclinations.
On the other side, there are African countries that turned their backs on the coup leaders in Niger and openly supported President Bazoum. They issued threats of military intervention if the Nigerian military doesn't surrender and doesn't release President Mohamed Bazoum, returning him to power. These countries are members of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which was established in 1975. While it functions as a European Union-like organization for Africa, its primary focus is economic rather than military. The aim of ECOWAS is to promote economic integration in West and Central Africa and facilitate trade among its member states, comprising 15 African nations. Among these member states are the countries that support the coup in Niger, including Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. However, this union has previously intervened militarily, like during the outbreak of the civil war in Liberia when ECOWAS sent peacekeeping forces in response to the National Patriotic Front of Liberia's coup against President Samuel Doe. This intervention resulted in a ceasefire and created conditions for subsequent elections to establish a new government. For the involved parties, war is a suicidal move. Niger's sensitive economic and geographic position is crucial, like a domino effect. If one piece falls, the others follow, with far-reaching economic and security consequences, especially for neighboring countries. Countries like Algeria and Libya, whose stance is neutral towards the coup, might witness an influx of refugees and infiltration by supporters of groups like ISIS, expanding their influence. In your opinion, do you think ECOWAS will take military action and potentially declare war on Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso? Or will they step back and leave Niger to resolve its internal affairs? Macron's government will also need to address the situation, facing the allies of the coup leaders in Niger if military intervention occurs.